homes crumbling.
A sinkhole swallowing buildings and dreams.
Massive trees gone in seconds as that sinkhole grows.
It swallowed almost 30 acres. Now, this is video shot this morning, and you can see the tree as it disappears into the depths of that sinkhole after it bobs one last time.
Thousands lost power when the 30-inch natural gas line erupted and burned the overhead lines. About 80 feet of pipe disintegrated. Nobody.
There's a sinkhole right next to our neighbor's house, and it's literally eating the house, like, completely. There's, like, a big hole, and then the house is just, like, being tore down.
The constant nightmare that will now follow.
Something never seen before is happening. Millions of giant sinkholes opened around the globe within the past few years. Yes, you heard it right, millions. Some blamed weather, some stated that hollow earth theory is proven, some said that CERN created a mini black hole inside Earth, some blamed aliens from outer space, others demon from hell. I thought it's because of excessive fracking and mining, and I went to the oil rig to investigate, only to be proven wrong, because sinkholes seem to evenly distributed around the world and not concentrate around fracking and mining places. Russian Siberia, Brazilian jungle, frozen Antarctica and African Sahara have thousands of new sinkholes open without any fracking or mining there. I talked to the engineer in charge of multi-million-dollar seabed mining sonar vessel who has PhD in geophysics. He told me that what we are seeing on Earth is just the tip of the iceberg. For one sinkhole opening on Earth, there are at least 4 underwater according to his sonar, and this process accelerated geometrically within the last couple of years. I asked him what he thinks causing it. He looked at me and said, the only logical explanation is that CERN created mini black hole inside Earth. However, I disagreed with him. I have discovered something even scarier than a black hole inside Earth created by CERN. Hold your breath, but first watch how those monsters are decimating our planet. Here is what is happening now. Scientists predicted that ocean level will rise by 2 feet by 2020 comparatively to 1900s because of global warming. Instead, we are seeing almost 1 foot drop. We have a grotto in San Francisco Beach near Seal Rocks that was only possible to reach during the lowest tide in 1990s without getting wet. I used to wait for the low tide to go there. Now it is accessible during any tide 24/7. Moreover, last month I was able to reach Seal Rocks by feet. It was never possible before. Where all the water gone? The thing is that we live on the aging planet and its core is cooling, shrinking and contracting, forcing magma to retreat deeper, leaving hollow spaces inside the Earth crust into the newly formed cracks and reservoirs. The ocean water occupies these newly formed sinkholes and spaces, also draining down closer to Earth magma, exposing more of the ocean floor. New islands forming in the ocean and more land getting exposed. This island just raised from the ocean in Caribbean within a couple of years, and don't even have a name yet. The Earth crust also cooling, shrinking, and contracting, forming new cracks and sinkholes. And this process accelerated in geometrical progression within the last few years. In time, all water will be drained from the Earth's surface and Earth will be resembling Mars. But before that, and very soon, probably within your lifetime, something very dramatic will happen that will create an extinction event similar to the one that happened 250 million years ago. Permian-Triassic extinction. It was the worst in all history, because almost 99% of species were lost forever, and 99.9% of all Earth life went extinct. Life today descended from 1% of the surviving species. As it is today, Earth core started to cool down, and Earth crust cracked like a boiled eggs with trillions gallons of cold ocean water pouring inside newly formed Earth cavities, and once they reached hot magma, the volcanic magma explosion was so powerful that pieces of the planet were literally thrown to outer space. Possibly, visions some of you, including me, having of the receded ocean and miles of empty ocean floor exposed are about to come true. All those sinkholes are just the beginning of the end. Much bigger fissures are opening at the ocean floor. Once one will be big enough, the Earth crust will crack again around its ring of fire like a boiled egg. The volcanic magma explosion, like hit of 10-mile-wide asteroid, will create nearly lightfall on Earth, following by world earthquake magnitude 12 or higher and 5,000 feet tall tsunami. Why now? Why those sinkholes, cracks, and fissures formations skyrocketed within the last few years? Why Earth waited 250 million years? Perhaps it's a coincidence, perhaps it's a karma for human mistreating its mother Earth, perhaps it's the answer to biblical prophecy of apocalypse, perhaps it's the theory that Earth is the one large organism who has its ways to get rid of any invading parasitic species once they overdevelop, perhaps it's the answer why we cannot find many developed alien civilizations around us, perhaps it is all together. We might never know for sure, but the fact is we are being terraformed from the inside. And by the time it took you watch to this point of the video, 11 new sinkholes opened around the planet. Our time is almost up. Between the next 10 to 100 years, large amounts of cold ocean water will reach hot magma, and it will be the truly last day on Earth. Maybe that's why billionaires Elon Musk and scientists like Stephen Hawking urging us to start a colony on Mars as soon as possible. Maybe that's why NASA and ESA frantically searching for the nearest inhabitable planet. Maybe that's why PGE workers in San Francisco area, when another huge sinkhole opened, were told that it is just scheduled work and 3 cars that is swallowed were just improperly parked and slide into the opening, and house standing nearby was also destroyed by an accident. The oil rig engineer I visited also had a visit from Man in Black who told him to keep his finding about progressing Earth openings to himself. If he wants to have a job and license, and National Geographic reporter suddenly canceled the article from the print when she spent years to research sinkholes. Of course, people high up know that something is very wrong with the planet and making plans to colonize Mars, build long-term space hotel and travel to the new Earth outside the solar system. They know. They just don't want you to know. That's why you need to watch Crime Channel more and distinguish what video we posted for sci-fi entertainment and what video is dead serious like this one. You might think that 250 million years it was a long time to wait. However, something similar happened much more recently. May 1st, 1986. Active zone of Chernobyl nuclear power plant was still melting after the explosion. There was a reservoir with 5 million gallons of water under 185 tons of melting nuclear fuel. And the only thing that stood between superheated nuclear fuel and cold water was also melting and cracking concrete block that was about to break. Once the glowing nuclear fuel would touch the water, the secondary explosion that would ignite 3 nearby nuclear power plants and decimate 100 square miles around and throw hundreds of tons of radioactive particles in the atmosphere. After that, not only Europe, but entire Earth would be covered with radiation hundreds times more than after Fukushima, making Central Europe uninhabitable for over 500,000 years. The only way to prevent it was to send 3 divers in diving suits to open the valves of the water reservoir inside the nuclear reactor. It would also mean a certain death for all 3 divers because of lethal radiation levels inside the melting nuclear power plant. 3 Ukrainian volunteers answered the call to dive and open the valves, knowing that it would be the last thing they will do in this life. Wherever you live, you own your health to them, and if you are European like me, then you own your life them. Remember their names: Alexei Ananenko, Valerian Bestlov, Boris Baranov. In 1986 they voluntarily gave away their lives, so you can live today. The question is, when time comes and masses of Earth ocean water will make its way to the magma, will we have people like these 3 heroes, or even a technology to stop the end?